Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Summer Social Series, where today we'll be diving into how to get started on Twitter. Now, Twitter definitely has a lot going on, so we're going to really be kind of breaking this down over the course of the week. So go www.twitter.com and let's get started.
So here we are, www.twitter.com, and the first thing we're going to want to do is create an account. So we're going to come up on over here, and we're going to go ahead and sign up. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in our email. And then we are going to go ahead and create a password. All right, and once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and sign up. It may ask you for your phone number. You can go ahead and enter if you want. If not, go ahead and just come on down over here to where it says skip. Now, unlike Snapchat, you can actually change your Twitter handle if you want at any time. So if you do have accounts on other social media channels, as always, be mindful of your brand. Remember, we always want to be able to keep our usernames consistent across platforms. So I actually already have a Twitter handle. Mine is actually Ask Miss Q. I am just signing up with a new one just so that I can show you how to go through all these steps. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick one of their suggestions right over here. And now I'm going to go ahead and select next. All right, so it gives you a little highlight about what it is that we're going to do, and we're going to go ahead and select let's go and get started. Now, a lot of these next screens that you're going to see are going to be optional for you. So if you do have something that you're interested in, you can go ahead and select them. Or I can come up over here and I can search, other topics it is that I might be interested in, and then it's going to go ahead and allow me to select these as well. And what this does is it just sort of generates some pre-ideas and people that Twitter might think you'd be interested in following. Next, what it's going to do is ask you to import your contacts. Now, if you are using this for professional purposes, I don't really recommend going ahead and importing all of your different contacts that you have in there. It may sort of clutter your Twitter account with people that perhaps you might not be interested in following. So my personal recommendation would be to just go ahead and click no thanks. But remember, you can always go back and do this step if you decide that you do want to go ahead and import all of your contacts from your emails. All right, so now if you remember, a few moments ago, I had selected a few things or a few categories that I was interested in. And so now what it's done is it's sort of selected these Twitter handles for me about people that I might be interested in following. And you'll notice that all of these people have actually been pre-selected. And so it may not be that you want to go ahead and select all these people. So right up over at the top, go ahead and deselect where it says select all. And that way you'll actually be able to go through and be like, okay, that's somebody I might be interested in following. Over here, this might be another one that I'm interested in following. And that way you'll sort of be able to pre-select them. You'll notice it will also bring up recommendations based upon your location. And so again, you're going to want to deselect the checkbox that says select all. That way you can go in and really kind of personalize who it is that you're actually interested in following if you want any of them at all. So I'm going to go ahead and follow those two and then continue. And it's going to begin setting up my Twitter account. And okay, here we go. We are now into our main interface. And there's definitely a few things that we're going to want to do here before we actually start adding people to our account. So first of all, let's go ahead and just actually explore the general interface. So right now we're in our home where we can kind of see our home page and our profile. If we come over here to moments, what we'll be able to see are some of the top trending news stories that are taking place right now. And you'll also be able to go ahead and browse through them to kind of stay up to date with some of the latest things that are taking place. Usually some of the top categories are kind of posted here and you can kind of browse through them for different stories depending upon what it is that you're interested in. Now, if we come over here to notifications, this is where you'll get notified, as you can kind of see where it says here, anytime somebody mentions your name in a tweet, anytime somebody retweets or shares one of your tweets with their followers, anytime somebody likes something it is that you've posted, and you'll also be able to see when somebody follows you. Next, if we come over to our messages, this is where you'll be able to have private conversations with people called direct messages. So if you want to message somebody one-on-one, or if you want to have a private message with a group of people, this would be the place to do so. If we come over to the right a little bit more and we tap in our search Twitter, this is where you'll be able to search Twitter for information that you might be looking for. So let's say you are looking for information on EdTech. So if you come in and you put in EdTech, you'll get a few different search results that will come up, but you'll also get some hashtags. Now, using this hashtag, you'll be able to see all the other things that people have been sharing that have to do with EdTech. And sometimes they may be relevant, sometimes they may not be. There's no real control over who gets to use a hashtag. So you'll kind of be able to just sort of scroll through and see all the different things that people have posted that they think have to do with EdTech. Now, in addition to this, you'll also be able to see sort of what some of the top trends are, what people are posting live right now in the moment. And next, if you come over to accounts, you'll be able to see who are the different groups that have been posting to this hashtag. And what that will sort of do is kind of introduce you to a few more people that you might be interested in following. You can also see what photos people have posted, and you can also see the types of videos that people have posted as well, as a way of kind of just filtering your feed a little bit more specifically towards what it is you might be looking for. Next, over here we have more options, and this will kind of, again, just give you a few more options from what it is that you can see. One of the nice things about this, once you kind of begin developing more of a professional learning network and you have sort of more of a community on here, when you search a hashtag, instead of just seeing what everybody has posted, you can actually see what people you follow have posted from the hashtag, which is going to really make it a lot more relevant for you. And so if you remember from my introduction to Summer Social for Twitter, one of the things that I really emphasized was how important it is to actually build your community in Twitter, to actually have the feed be much more meaningful to you. You can also come down and make it even more specific, so look at people who are posting to this hashtag from everywhere or people who are posting from nearby where you are. Now, again, I'm in Orange County, so now it's going to start bringing up people who are local in Orange County and the things that they have been posting to this hashtag. So again, so much of Twitter I can really personalize for myself, and I think that's really the key, and I think that's where a lot of people really struggle, because in the beginning it kind of just seems like this, global mess of information, but as you begin personalizing the platform with people who you're interested in following, people you're interested in learning from, and being able to really kind of personalize how you search Twitter and how you search and use hashtags, you'll find the experience to be so much more meaningful to you. So if we continue on with a look at our interface, if we come over a little bit more to the right, you'll see this little egg. And this egg right now is your profile picture. So one of the things you'll hear a lot of people say is when you join Twitter, don't be an egg. Go ahead and add a photo of yourself, which we will get to in a moment. But if I tap over here, one of the things I'm going to be able to do is take a look at my profile and my settings. So I want to show you settings really quickly. So over here, you'll see there are a large number of settings that you can go in to, again, just kind of really personalize your Twitter feed a lot more to how you want it to work for you. One of the things that I do sort of really want to bring your attention to is we come over to security and privacy. One of the things that you are going to want to do is go ahead and make sure that protect my tweets has been turned off, and I'll tell you why. If you are joining Twitter for professional or for business purposes, you want your account to be public, because that's going to be the best way for other people to actually find you and view the work that you are sharing. Now, if you are using Twitter for more personal reasons, then I would probably recommend saying protect my tweets. But again, if you are using this for professional or business purposes, you probably want to have the protect my tweets turned off. So right now mine has already been turned off. If I go ahead and click it, it is now on. So go ahead and make sure the box there has not been selected. So the rest of the settings, I'll let you kind of go through and navigate and decide how you want to set them up. That was the main one that I wanted to bring your attention to. And then over at the far right, you have the icon that is going to allow you to actually begin sending out your tweet. And we're going to come back to this in just a moment. So let's go back home and kind of get back to sort of our regular interface. One of the things that I also want to bring your attention to is if you scroll down a little bit on the left, you will see something that says trends. And trends are the top hashtags that people are using, where some of the most popular conversations are taking place on Twitter. And then, of course, over here, sort of in the middle, we have our news feed, which is going to publish all the information that the people that we are following are sharing out. And again, the more personalized you make Twitter and the more time you invest in really kind of picking and choosing who it is that you want to follow and connect with, the more meaningful your newsfeed is going to look. Before we start tweeting and before we start adding people, we want to go ahead and make sure that our profile is 100% complete. So if you kind of come down a little bit over here on your left, you'll notice that our profile right now is about 30% complete. And one of the first things you're going to want to do is add a photo. So you can either add a photo by clicking on this little avatar icon right over here with the camera and the plus button, or you can come down over here and do add a photo. And so you'll be able to then go ahead and choose whichever photo it is that you want and go ahead and upload it. So take a moment, go ahead, upload a photo, and we will come right back. All right, so here we go. Here's my photo. Now, one of the things that I mentioned in last week's Summer Social is that if you have signed up to Snapchat, one of the best ways to share your account and one of the best ways to get people to connect with you on Snapchat is to let people know that you have a Snapchat account. And if you remember, one of the things that I talked about is how Snapchat gives everybody a snap code, which is sort of a little image of you with these little black dots all over it and this ghost icon. You can actually take that and make it your profile pictures. All right, so next up you can see we're about 48% complete, so almost halfway there. What you want to do now is go ahead and describe who you are and what you are interested in, what it is that you do for work, maybe even add the hashtag of your business or your school that you usually tweet at, and let people know who you are and why they should connect with you. So this right over here is my introduction. I'm an Apple Distinguished Educator. I am currently the Director of Innovative Learning for the PA program over at Keck USC. I also work with EdTech Teacher and I write for iPad educators. And if you want to find me on Snapchat, my username is Ask Miss Q. So that's my introduction. Again, go ahead and take a few moments to customize yours. And once you're done, go ahead and select Save. And our profile is now 65% complete. Now, those are the two main things you should be adding in. If you want to add your birthday, up to you. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. And now next up, we are 83% complete. If you want to be able to sort of find people who are in the same location as you, you can go ahead and you can put in your location. I'm going to go ahead and put in Orange County because that's where I am. And then once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and select Save. And now my profile is 100% complete. Now remember, you can always come back right up over here to this little icon where your profile picture is. You can go in there and adjust your settings at any time. All right, wonderful. Now that our profile is 100% complete, let's come over here and see what our profile looks like. All right, great. So here I am in my profile. One of the last sort of things that you might be interested in doing is you'll notice up at the top of your profile, you've got this blue box here. Now, if I go ahead and I select Edit Profile, one of the things that I'm able to do is go ahead and add a header photo. And one of the best ways to add a header photo is actually by heading over to Canva. And if you are interested in learning more about how to add a header photo with Canva, stay tuned because on Friday, I'm going to be talking about ways to enhance your Twitter profile, and header photos are one of the items that I will be talking about. All right, great. So once we have our profile set up, you can see everything is now over here. We have, recommendations about who to follow. We can see what some of the top trends are. It will tell us who some of the latest people are that we have followed. But really what we can now do is we are ready to begin creating our first tweet. Now, Twitter has actually pre-programmed in 2 tweets that you can actually just hit tweet on and it'll actually go ahead and send out. If you don't want to do that though, and you really want to kind of customize your own tweet, let's go ahead and take a look at how you would get started. All right, so to go ahead and create your first tweet, we're going to come up over here to the top right and we're going to go ahead and click on this little tweet icon. And this is the box that we're now going to get up every time we want to compose a new tweet. So in this white box right over here is where you would write your tweet out. So here you would write your tweet, and then you have a few more options for what you can do down below. So if you wanted, you can go ahead and click on this camera icon to add in some photo or some video. Now, if you were on your mobile device, you would be able to add in anything that you already have saved, or if you want, you can actually take a photo or a video live from directly within your Twitter account. Next over here, you can choose to add a GIF, and there are a lot of different pre-selected ones, little categories that you can kind of browse through to be able to see what kind of ones are available for you. So maybe let's say you're really excited about having joined Twitter. Let's go ahead and select one to add. So let's go ahead and compose a tweet now. Maybe really excited to get started with Twitter. Great. Okay, so a couple other things that we want to be able to do. If you were to send out a tweet just like this, you're not really going to be reaching anybody as of yet because you don't really have a profile built up. And the way you're going to go ahead and reach different people is by using hashtags. So let's say maybe one of the hashtags you might pick is EdTech. Let the EdTech world know, hey, there's a new person on the scene. You have now joined Twitter. Now, I'm here in California, and in California, one of the really popular hashtags that we use is CA@Chat. So maybe one of the things that I would do is go ahead and let educators in California know that, hey, I'm a teacher and I've just signed up on Twitter and I'm excited to begin connecting with people. And what this will do now is allow your tweet to really reach a wider audience where people can now see what it is that you are posting. All right, so something to be mindful of as you are tweeting, you'll notice over here in the bottom right, it has a number, and this number originally started at 140 because that is how many characters I can include in my tweet. And right now I am down to 55. I think I'm pretty good though with what I have right now. Now, I do want to be able to point out just two other features that are here as well. This third icon here is to add a poll. So maybe you want to ask people, what is your favorite part about Twitter? And maybe, you're going to go ahead and give people a few options, and then people will be able to respond and you'll see what people are saying. And then last but not least, over here we have our location. It's up to you whether you want to have your location turned on or off. Once you are ready, go ahead and select tweet. And now here it is, your tweet has been posted to your timeline. So let's say, for example, you made a mistake and you want to go ahead and delete the tweet. If you come over here to these three dots, one of the options that you will have here is to delete tweet. So if you make a mistake or if something pops up and it's not what you wanted it to be or what it is you wanted it to look like, go ahead and delete your tweet, and then you can come on back in and republish it when you are ready. We're done creating our account and we've sent out our first tweet. I'm actually going to switch over to my real Twitter account and show you a few more things that you need to know to get started. So I'm actually going to come over to my profile. And here there are a few things that I want to be able to highlight for you. So in my Twitter feed, there are a few different things that I will be able to see. The first one over here, I'll be able to see all the different tweets it is that I've put out. Now, these are tweets that I have actually personally posted or things that I have retweeted. So this first one over here is something that I tweeted, but if we scroll down just a little bit, I thought this was an absolutely fantastic photo. This is actually something that somebody did on Snapchat where they created this, person holding this ice cream cone using emojis on Snapchat. And if you listened to Summer Social last week, one of the things that I talked heavily about was how Snapchat really has this tendency towards creation, not just consumption. And this right here is just such a fantastic example of how Snapchat helps people really unleash this type of creativity that I don't think you see with a lot of other platforms. Now, if we scroll back up to the top, the next one we can see are tweets and replies. So these are tweets that I have sent out and any types of replies that people have sent to me. So there we can kind of see some of the conversations. And then the third one that I have is any type of media that I may have posted. So any types of photos and videos that I've posted, this is where we would be able to see them all. So one of the top things you can see last week was really sort of all about Snapchat and my Summer Social series. So that's a lot of what we're going to see over there. And that's where you'd be able to see your media. So if you're looking for any of your photos and videos that you've posted, that would sort of be the place to go ahead and grab that material. Everything in your Twitter profile has these icons right below it. So all of your tweets will have these. Now let's talk a little bit about what these do. So the first one is this little arrow, and if you tap on here, what that will allow you to do is actually to reply to a tweet that somebody has posted. So if you see a tweet that somebody posted and you want to say something or you want to comment on it, this arrow is how you would comment. Now the next one over here is what we call a retweet. It's something that you see in your newsfeed that maybe somebody else has posted, and you think that this is something really valuable to share with your learning community as well. So what you'll do is go ahead and hit retweet, and what that will do is send out that tweet to all of the people that are in your learning community as well. Next up over here, we have the heart, and the heart just means that this is something that we like. So maybe if you don't want to actually share it out with your audience, you can just go ahead and give it a like. Or a really nice thing to do is if you find something really valuable, go ahead, give it a like and give it a retweet and share it out with your audience. And then this one right over here will actually give you some analytics as to how your tweet is doing. And last but not least, we have our 3 dots over here where we can do a few more things with tweets. And we can do these to ours, or we can do these to ones that other people have shared. There's just going to be a few slight differences. So in the introduction to Twitter, one of the things that I talked about was how this can be a great place to be able to share your work with people who are a part of your professional learning network and really kind of beyond as well. So I want to go a little bit more in depth into how you might create a tweet that kind of engages a few more people by using a few different elements. So like I said last week, I started my summer social series, and so over here, this is one of the tweets that I sent out during the week, and I kind of just want to break down a few different things that I have done here. So obviously, I've kind of started off my tweet with, the topic. So the topic of this is how might we enhance our storytelling with Snapchat, and I've included a link to the blog post where I have talked about this. And you'll see that I've included a few hashtags where I think this topic would be relevant. But if you come down a little bit below my tweet, one of the other things you'll notice is that I've actually tagged some people in here as well. And then what I've done is I've also included an image. And one of the things that we know about Twitter is that when you include an image, you are likely to get much more traffic to your tweet than if you just include a tweet with no image. And if you're interested in how to quickly create images that you can share on Twitter, join me again on Friday where we're going to dive a little bit deeper with some of the tips and tricks. And again, creating images with your tweets is going to be one of them. All right, so let me go ahead and break down how I created this tweet. So let's come back over here to our tweet icon. All right, so one of the things that I put in first of all was how might we enhance storytelling with Snapchat? Now you'll see I've got 92 characters still left. So I'm going to go ahead and add a photo. All right, and now that I've added my photo, you'll see that right below it says who's in this photo. So if there are certain people that you were talking about in your Twitter post or your blog post or video, or there are people that you think might be interested in this topic, you can go ahead here and tag up to 10 people. All right, so I've got my tagline down, I've got my image down, I've added some people in. Now, last but not least, I want to go ahead and add in my hashtags that I think might be relevant to the post that I am creating. And then once I am all done, I'm going to go ahead down over here to where it says tweet and share out my post.
Well, congratulations on getting set up on Twitter. I hope you have some fun playing around, experimenting with some tweets, some retweets, some likes, and really beginning to build your professional learning network. Now, if you look at my blog, I have shared with you a list of people that I really enjoy to follow, but ultimately it's really going to be up to you to personalize your network. I think you'll find that there's lots of sort of pre-made lists that people share with people about the people that they think others should follow, but ultimately this is about your learning, this is about your network, and this is about your experience with Twitter. So how do you begin personalizing your network and finding people that you want to join your community? Well, join me tomorrow for another episode of Summer Social where we'll be taking a look at how to join and engage in Twitter chats. Twitter chats are my personal way, actually, of finding people to add to my professional learning network while also enhancing my relationship with those people who are already a part of it. So join me tomorrow for Summer Social where we'll be taking a look at Twitter chats. Till then, have a great day. Bye.